Ladies and gentlemen, probably got the best knuckle game of all comedians in the game right now. Actor, political commentator, radio host, stand-up comedian, sniper. I call him a political sniper. This our brother, the one and only D.O. Hughley is back.
D.O.
Top 3 favorite guests ever.
Hey,
D.O.
What's up,
Hey,
bro?
baby, how you doing, girl? What's up, Ed?
What's up, family?
I'm great. Well, I'm good as you can be when you can't go outside.
Yeah, well, that's crazy right there, man. You give you a chance to fall in love with your family again, man. How that's been?
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. It's the first time I ever wish I lived in a red state who don't give a damn about their people. I'd be outside right now. I'd be having fun.
Yo, ain't that crazy? You know, I watch you all the time. And by the way, man, if you're looking for a bodyguard, man, I'll fill out an application because I'm sure you got shit. I know
you might have to soon.
Yo, hey, how many stones are you getting thrown at you because of your opinion? Like, how many people?
Man, I just think man, I think that's what comedy is all about. Like today, I was watching. You know, those armed protesters in marched on state houses, basically asking for the government, demanding that the government open it up. And it's weird because the last time black armed militants marched to a state house, they took those guns away. Ronald Reagan and the NRA wrote the Mulford Act. See, black people, we march when kids, unarmed kids are killed by the police. White people march because they can't go to the mall. It's crazy.
Wow.
Can't get a haircut.
They won't let me in food court. Need the gun for.
Yo, and it's we've been having that conversation this whole morning, and it's still folks that don't understand why we got to put race in it, and as if we put race in it.
Why do we have to? Because ultimately, it's this: 30% of the people in Atlanta, 80% of the people hospitalized with COVID are black. In New York, the majority, disproportionate number of the people who are dying from the disease are black. In Maryland, it's the same thing. Ultimately, this disease exposes and then I remember the Surgeon General, Jerome Adams, got on TV and told everybody it was because we smoke and we drink and we do drugs. And every study says that we don't do that at a disproportionate level. We just die of this disease. Ultimately, it is this. It exposed who we were. It is the most vulnerable who are dying. It is people who are old people. It is people who live on top of each other in close proximity. It is people who are in prisons. It is the least of us. And I think that this government, this nation has made the estimation that the people who are dying are not worth people who we warehouse anyway and don't really need. And I think this is really just America's real life version of the purge. It really is. If you lose old people or black or brown people or people who are in prison, how much is that going to hurt this country? They don't really care about that.
They don't care about it.
If your parents are in an old folks home, primarily, either you can't take care of them or they're warehouse. Mm-hmm. That's just, if you are in prison, do they really care about you? If you live in a project, it is proximity that it has gotten us in this situation. And when black people go to hospitals, brown people go to hospitals, our outcomes are different because there's account after account of black people and brown people going to the doctor and telling them they had symptoms and the doctor giving them Tylenol and telling them they'll be all right, and then they die. It's the same situation. So I think that in this climate, comedically, how could you see that and not say anything about it? I don't understand that,
and that's why you call him, because I know one of the reasons why you calling is to just catch up with your family here on Sway in the Morning. But you're doing a virtual comedy show, the first ever virtual comedy show, The Laugh Experience, and that's on Friday, May 15th at 9 p.m. and it's with Seek, CEEK.com. But the proceeds of this show is going to be going to Entertainment Industry Foundation's COVID-19 Response Fund. This your way of just using your platform to bring awareness, but also to help folks out.
Man, let me tell you something. Nobody's ever seen anything like this, ever. Yeah. And when I hear people, like when Puff said, we're going to hold our vote unless you don't vote, you know what will happen? What happens is ultimately is this. Even if whether you are a Republican or Democrat, you need to put somebody in an office who cares, and who's competent, like who at least can do the job. What black people get if they vote is to live. How about that? How about just getting to not die at the hands of an uncaring system and uncaring people. How about just that as a start? The notion that you should just sit by and let this happen and extract something from that, because it ain't money that's going to fix this. It's not marching that's going to fix this. It is a modicum of human decency and respect. It is all women and children that are dying. It's all mothers and fathers who are dying. And I understand that I'm here to do comedy, but I can't think of a more worthy cause. Everybody who's alive right now is alive for this very reason. Mm-hmm. Your ancestors survived what they survived to make things better for you, and we have a responsibility to survive this and make it better for the people that come behind us. And if you're not willing to do that, you're just taking up too much space.
Taking up too much. D.L. Hughley, man. Tracy and Heather is here with us, man. We yesterday we actually had a conversation about that comment about holding the black vote, and thought that I think I understood his sentiment, but and what he was trying to say. But a lot of us didn't feel like one person should have the right to say that for all across the board. How did you take it?
I took it exactly like that. I think it's the reason that we have the situation we have right now is because more people didn't vote than did. And I don't care who you vote for, but how about a person in office who can do the job, who cares about people? Like how is it that you let's be clear, 1 million people, 1 million Americans have this disease. More Americans died in 2 months than died in the Vietnam War. And you think there's no discernible difference between those people? You think that between a competent candidate and somebody can do it? I tell you what, a lot of people are dying in New York, and I have a place there, but I can't say that I'm a resident there. But a lot of people are dying in New York. But the way that your governance is handling that situation is how leaders should do it. Is how giving you information. He's telling you where to go, and the other president's telling you to drink bleach. Now, and I think the Clorox is actually the perfect product for people who believe in Trump and his supporters, because it works great on whites and it kills colors, so it's the same thing.
Damn! Wow! Did you hear that, Heather?
Get straight to it.
And then you'll have people like Tommy Lauren saying that social distancing is willful slavery. You dizzy bitch! Willful and slavery don't go together. Willful and slavery do not go together. How about this? You can call yourself a slave when you come home and your woman is raped and your children are sold off and you are beaten and you still got to get up for the 6 a.m. shift. How about that? And it's time out for people, in my estimation, who do not understand the severity of what is going on and who do not act in accordance with what's decent for humanity.
Yeah, it's time to get rid of those. What do you say to the people, though, man? I'm seeing folks in my hometown and other places in our community that are still being defiant to these safety rules and having like Corona parties. Well,
I think that they are too, are dangerous to our. Listen, it's not even what happens to you. It's what you bring home. It's not even what happens to you. It's not a joke no more. It's people. Look at the people in prisons who are dying right now. Why are they dying? Look at the people in meat packing plants. Look at the people now that are getting it just because of close proximity. Look at all the people who went to those protests and now got it. You know what I mean? It's what you if what you leave behind, if what you're doing to the people who you profess to love, because you can't be disciplined enough to act decently for a couple of months, then I think you're a detriment to the people that are trying to survive and the people who are trying to move forward. You want to party and you kill your grandmother or your wife or your daughter? That's dumb to me.
Yeah. D.L. Hughley is with us, and also we're talking about the virtual comedy show, first ever of its kind, the Laugh Experience, Friday, May 15th at 9 p.m. Bizzle, you want to holler at D.L.?
Yeah, I'm curious about the comedy show. I'm looking forward to it. Are other comedians joining you? You doing this by yourself?
Oh, yeah,
and I've been asking Sway too. I'm sorry, D.L. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Well, we're gonna have Tommy Davis is going to join a very cat named Bo Davis, Clint Coley, young dude named Ryan Davis. So it's gonna be, and I'm telling you, it's so dope. It's like you actually in the joint. It's a virtual. It's not like Zoom. it's like you can actually hear laughter. You can actually see people. You can actually get out of it. It's a dope experience. And I think it's perfect now because now people are scared to go out, so social distancing is real. But I also want to say this way. Tonight on Pluto TV at 8 o'clock, my show, the D.L. Hughley Uncut, the one that was on TV1 is back, and it's on Pluto, premiering tonight.
Yo, look at DL getting money, Tracy. You got to follow his lead.
Wait, Sway, one more piece, though, for DL before Tracy jump in. Is this something that you will continue, DL, after quarantine, or are you just doing this like a one-time thing?
Well, no. I think that this is fundamentally going to change how we do things. I think that even when quarantine is lifted, a lot of people are going to be reticent to go outside. A lot of people are going to be reticent to interact. So it may, ultimately be how people kind of consume live entertainment, or some people consume live entertainment. So it's something we're going to do. And the woman who came up with the technology is a brilliant black woman from Nigeria. It's just dope.
Let's go.
Tracy G.
That's super dope. Thank you for sharing that
detail
on that, Dio. What up, my guy? Happy to hear your voice.
Baby.
Listen,
Likewise.
I know.
I'm glad y'all doing all right.
Thank you. Obviously we love seeing your brain flex on all of the intellectually heavy topics, but I'm trying to know from like pop culture stance what D.L. Hughley's thoughts are on Demon Time. I need to hear your opinions on Tekashi setting up for new music. I need to hear your opinion on Common cheating on Heather B with Tiffany Haddish. I'm just going to throw.
D.L., defer that question. I'm not worried. Do I sound like a broken woman?
Well, you know what? It's been so, like this is one thing I would say is that the quarantine is I've been spending a lot of time with my woman. In fact, it's her birthday today, and a lot of time with my kids. But I'm so ready to get out of here and be asking questions. I don't know what to do. I mean, I love them. But remember when he said, don't do drink, don't do drugs, and don't smoke? I'm like, and you can't tell me not to do that and stay home. Now, either you gonna have an alcoholic or a murderer. Which one you want? I don't know.
Oh my God!
At least if I'm an alcoholic, I get to leave the house and go to the meetings.
That's very true. But at least let me get your thoughts though, DL, on Demon Time. We heard now Beyonce that's on the remix to Savage, Meg Thee Stallion's hit single. She's mentioning it for those who are unfamiliar.
I gotta be honest, I haven't I haven't given that much thought. I just
What is Demon Time, Tracy?
So it's pretty much a series of like late night after dark Instagram live streams that are like virtual strip clubs.
Oh no, I've been too busy watching Tiger King, but I do know this. I can tell you this. Apparently, petting a tiger makes you want to fuck a dude. That's what I've come away from all this. Apparently.
You ain't gonna be going to no zoos after this.
I found that out. I went over and kicked over my box of Frosted Flakes. I'm telling you, you gotta be careful.
You stupid.
Yeah, that dude ended up marrying 2 straight guys, right? Then he
man. Hold that tiger my ass.
That's so OG. Hold that tiger. What else did you ask him, Tracy?
Oh, I also asked him about Tekashi 6ix9ine, who was able to get out early. His attorney was making a case for him leaving jail and finishing the rest of his sentencing at home because he has asthma. And so he was able to get out. But we also know a lot of people who are inside the prison system right now who aren't being granted.
Yeah. A lot of people are. I think Michael Cohen, who was Donald Trump's lawyer, he's out. Michael Avenatti, the dude who did that festival that Ja Rule was involved in, is out, all because they got asthma. I didn't know you could get out of jail because you can't breathe. I didn't know
that. Yeah.
Suge Knight can't see. How come he ain't out? Bill. I mean, I think that they just look at things differently, and I know that they're different. Like it used to, like those other cats I mentioned, they would say they weren't involved in violent crimes. Tekashi was. He was involved in a violent crime. So I think that I just wish that everybody got treated pretty much like they treat black people, like all across the board. If we were all treated that way, I think things would be different. But I think that if you're going to let one group of people out because of a condition, A lot of black people have conditions called I don't like being in jail. That's a that's a pretty bad condition. Nigga, I don't like being locked up. That's a bad condition.
That's a doctor's note. Man,
right.
You know,
I can't do this bid from my doctor.
Yeah, man. One of the things I love that you do, like I do this thing called Bedroom Bars every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on my IG Live. And then I got people coming in. They spent 16 bars from South Africa, from Brazil, from the Netherlands, all these different places. But what makes it special for me, DL, is I do it with my daughter, Kiyomi. And it, for one, allows people to see me in a way that they never would have as a dad. And then for two, it allows me to help, build her brand up and let her experience the same joys and passions that I've experienced. And your daughter Tyler, DJ Lucci, Lucci Hugh, she does your show for you, man. What is that experience like for you, bro?
Well, it's better than loaning her money all the time. She works with me, and my son Woody works with me. They both work with me on the show. Now she's gonna work with me on the Seek thing, and this is how crazy this thing. My son, my daughter does my gigs with me, so she's gonna do the Seek thing. She's gonna be the DJ in the virtual platform that we're gonna be doing when we're doing a live comedy concert. They're also on my TV show on Pluto that airs tonight. But my son, his girlfriend lived in Seattle, so she's been living with us. So you got a white woman from Seattle with these bunches. Oh my God, it's the most hilarious. And she's a vegan. Oh my God, my wife can't take it. It's the most hilarious shit I've ever seen in my life, man. It is.
Your son married a white woman, huh? How did her?
He didn't marry her, but he knocked her off. He didn't marry her. And let me tell you, this is real spill. So we got this place in Santa Barbara, and she got so tired of us. She's living there in my other house without us there. Like, I'm tired of these niggas. I got to get out of here. It's the most hilarious shit ever.
Oh snap! Hey, how did her family? Did you meet her family? Yeah, or how did that?
I didn't. Hey man, I just came home and he was worried that because at that time Seattle was the hot spot. So can you imagine? And my daughters are like, don't let her sleep in my room. I'm like, you married, you don't live here no more. It's the most hilarious shit ever. But she had to live with us because she was so afraid that, Seattle was a hot spot then. And so my son naturally said, we're in the quarantine, can she stay here? I mean, he might as well have something to do. So it is funny to watch my wife not say nothing and want to. It's the most hilarious shit ever. I think I'm going to write a sitcom about just this shit right now.
Yo, bro, you could, though, man. Because that's something you got to think about, especially when you're a dad, who your kid going to bring home and how you going to react. Like, you know
man,
what I mean?
I tell you what times like this have really taught me is that you got to let people, I'm not even having a hard time. Like, my wife's father stayed with her, and that nigga set my backyard on fire 3 weeks ago. Like, literally, the fire department. This nigga's it. Because he made barbecue, put the barbecue briquettes in a box, and put that box in the trash can. And about 12 o'clock at night, the whole backyard was on fire.
Oh man, you can't do that. They never go out. The fuck?
And then the fire department didn't want to come because they didn't want to come in the house because they was worried about it. I've had some of the most hilarious shit happen that I've ever seen, but I can't wait to get out and be able to talk about this. So we're going to do that on the 15th. We're going to do the Seek thing. But you got to check out the show tonight on Pluto. We got Teddy Riley is our first guest on the show.
That's dope.
And also the people from Being Chili Bowl. And Teddy Riley is so clear you can actually hear him this time. It's very dope.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, Teddy ain't going to never live that down. Shit, that was funny.
He was doing something cool, man. I thought it was cool to try.
Nah, man, the end result the next week was amazing. And Bree got famous. His manager got famous off just the dancing memes. Like he can make T-shirts and go on the road now.
Yeah.
DL, man, thank you, bro, for tapping in with us, man. I just wanted to make sure you was good.
Man, y'all be careful out there. I love y'all, man, and y'all keep your head up, man. This will be over soon. I know, man. Here's the one thing I'll say: it's dope to hear somebody who know that their gig is to entertain people and get them through it. And like when I'm listening to y'all, it does two things. It lifts my spirits and let me remind me of what life was like before. But it's a dope thing to be able to work in a time like this and to do it in a situation where we can't even tell that the world is going crazy. So either you guys are hella professional or sociopaths. I don't know.
All right, hey, man, give it up for D.L. Hughley, man. Hey, man, we appreciate
I love
you.
y'all. Y'all kick it like
Love you too, man.
family.
8 o'clock
you
on
right
Pluto.
back.
Make sure you check that out.